The NHL trade deadline. The final day, teams can acquire players and or make any type of trade. Thus, it would also explain why this is one of the most difficult days in all professional sports. Do we have enough grit? Do we have enough scoring depth? Does the roster you assembled have what it takes to win a championship? Because there has been many instances where a team makes a huge acquisition on or before the deadline, and that single player was the turning point that led to a championship. Or even look at my guy, Phil the Thrill Hot Dog Man Kessel, as the Penguins would acquire him for Kasperi Kapanen in a first-round pick, being the main pieces. Yes, in both these trades they gave away serious future pieces. Yes, those future pieces have a chance of becoming a potential superstar, but if that trade leads to capturing multiple Stanley Cups, as the Kessel trade did, that's all you can ask for. You did it! You won! In fact, only 275 players in the entire NHL timeline have won 2 or more Stanley Cups. And considering there has been roughly 8,000 players to play in the NHL, which means there's only about a 3% chance a player will ever win 2 Stanley Cups. And that's the point. I feel like we as hockey fans tend to overvalue first round draft picks, or even just draft picks in general. Because unfortunately, and this one might be a hard pill to swallow, but here is the hard truth. Via Dobber Prospects, Joki Nevalainen did an awesome piece on this topic. I will link it down below. But from 2000 until 2009, only about 60 players from each draft class will play 100 games, which honestly is actually better than I thought. However, as you add games and or accolades, those odds exponentially decrease. I mean, at the end of the day, a team making a push will be acquiring, that NHL ready player, like Phil Kessel. Whereas the draft pick, and I have to keep saying this, is literally a future lottery ticket with a relatively minuscule chance of becoming close to the player you traded away, as acquiring an NHL player is nearly a guarantee. A draft pick just isn't. And to prove this, we can go deeper. Because even think of the context here. Teams trading away high-end picks are usually playoff bound. And to get a great picture of what that pick would be, I calculated the average value from the last 10 first-round picks traded at the deadline, and the results were honestly pretty surprising, as the average pick traded was roughly 25.7, so on average, a team will receive the 26th overall pick if they trade a player to a playoff team. And if we look back at the last 40 years, only about 25% of 26 overall picks will play 500 games. But again, we're talking in many cases a proven player that will deliver or a lottery ticket. As even just this past week, Tampa would mind-blowingly give away 2 first-round picks for Brandon Hagel. And no offense to Hagel, but for a fact that guy was like, wait, what? 2? They got 2 firsts for me? Hot damn. However, Brandon Hagel this season is on a 30-goal pace. And if we look at how many 26 overall picks have had 30-goal seasons from the past 40 years, 2. Only 2 have, or a 5% chance. So even if the Blackhawks have 2 first-round picks, they technically now have 2 5% chances of getting a 30-goal scorer in return. Not to mention Hagel, without a doubt, has the most attractive contract to goal ratio on the entire trade market. Because did I mention he makes $1.5 million? And once you look at this trade, it all starts to make sense. Because yes, on paper, this trade looks outrageous. As right now, the Tampa Bay Lightning have a chance to solidify themselves as the most dominant dynasty in NHL history. And before you go, Rob, you moron, have you heard of the 70s Canadiens? Or perhaps the 80s Oilers and Islanders? And what I will say, yes, I have. But also, the salary cap was introduced in 2005, which also means, to me at least, that winning 3 Stanley Cups in a row, given the current context of today's NHL, has to be the most impressive dynasty in history. I'm sorry, but I'm really not sorry. However, like I just mentioned, at the end of the day, these trades, risking your future, all comes down to timing. And what has to be one of the worst examples of recent timing is without a doubt the Jim Benning saga. Because after drafting Vasily Podkolzin at number 10 during the 2019 NHL draft, Jimbo Benning would make a massive splash, acquiring JT Miller from Tampa for what was a first and a third. And when this happened, fans were pissed. Why in the hell would he trade away our future for what was, a 50-point player? It's just the timing. The timing made no sense. The Canucks just drafted in the top 10. So to think that this trade would push them to playoff contention, that was absolutely foolish. as JT Miller since the trade has proven every single hater wrong with an exclamation point. However, the timing people was just so off, to the point where JT Miller's offensive explosion is almost pointless. So yes, that trade in hindsight was a massive W. And yes, there's only a 1% chance that player puts out remotely close numbers than JT Miller. But again, people, it's about timing, like a cobra, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike its prey. And for some teams, the timing always seems right. I mean, even recall back to the Matt Duchene saga. This dude was on the top of trade rumors for what seemed like years. However, Joe Sakic was patient. He knew what he wanted and striked with the perfect timing, facilitating one of the most lopsided deals in NHL history, especially if Bowen Byram can play to his potential as a future Norris winner. So the question is the timing right for your team? Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 years, I finally did it. After 3 years of working a full-time marketing career, after 3 years of doing that every single day, working about 80-90 hours a week on top of doing full-time university, your boy has quit his job. To all the OGs out there, I just want to say thank you for your continued support, because this channel, this whole adventure on, has truly changed my whole life, guys. I'm going off script here, but it's a really special occasion for me, guys. This past 3 years, especially during COVID, was one of the hardest times of my life. Now factor in working 90 hours a week and still trying to pass my classes, I feel like I finally got over that hurdle, and I just want to thank you guys, because it's crazy. And for anyone who is interested and you didn't see my community post, I actually created a new adventure channel, like outdoor adventure channel, and I posted my first video, so I'll link it down below. Go check it out. I'd appreciate any support there. And also, you guys wanted more Evie, so here she is. But I also hope you guys have been enjoying the new kind of content, the new direction I've been taking with this channel. I want to explore new ideas, new opportunities, and just do whatever I can to keep growing and making better and better content. And you guys have been showing so much support, and it means the world to me. So if you haven't already, press subscribe for some more awesome hockey content. And as always, thanks for watching.